machine.
Oh no.
It is on its last legs. I've got to replace it for it's too lazy. Look it up. That's pretty bad. It's literally just pasting it. But that's too much for me. Excuse me. Too much for me. All right, we're Imperial. Welcome to the NPR edition of Guys Games and Beer. Everybody's pretty hungover.
Yeah, it was a long weekend.
Or at least hurting. I don't really have a headache.
No,
I just have a body.
Yeah, pretty much
malaise.
everything's hurt today, Rob.
Oh, malaise. It's a malaise. Yeah.
Why'd you try and convince me that stripper could actually shotgun beer out of her? Why?
Well, I mean, it was something to see.
It was something to
It
see,
was
but
worth it
did
for
you?
the show. It was worth it for the show.
It was, but you didn't have to encourage my already drunk self to try and catch
I
it.
mean, somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it. Wasn't going to be
Is that also new?
Yeah, they can make some good stuff. All right, let's do this.
Rob's going like, I don't want to do it, man. I don't want to. Rob's just going, I really don't want to do this.
3, in 2, in 1. Live from the 6th subfloor basement of the Guys Games and Beer Towers, it's the Guys Games and Beer Show.
Yeah!
It's pretty strong for
Considering how hungover
Big
and
condition we're
absolutely
in.
torn up we are, yeah, that was pretty good. Because it was a long weekend, gentlemen.
Oh yeah.
We had so it was St. Patrick's Day weekend, and we generally do something in Racine when they have the parade, and so we were drinking all day Saturday, and I mean all day Saturday, Rob. Well, I mean, Christ,
I got out of there.
I don't even remember what time you left, dude. So we were drinking all day at.
Oh, it's because you went to the bar afterwards, and I was
Did we
supposed
go to the bar?
to. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
that's right, we
supposed
did go to
to.
the bar.
Yeah, and
didn't
then
we?
we're like, you should be here, Rob. And
Yeah, I was supposed to be doing stuff.
then he's like, I'm in Kenosha already. Like, oh, you made it to Kenosha somehow.
I don't know how the
What
fuck you
was
got
I
to
doing in
Kenosha.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't either. I was not in good shape either that night either. We did like
Oh,
did
hey,
like
give
3
him the
shots.
box so he can do the read.
Or if he wants to.
Come
here.
There
Do it.
we go. There we
You-
go.
the-
All right.
You get to do the read. Okay, so hey, let's do
So
this,
we got
Rob.
the.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, wait a minute.
There's a way to do this.
There's a way to do this, Rob? Is there really a way to do
There's a
this?
proper way.
All right, well, let's try the proper way.
Bam,
Bam.
bam,
Bam, bam. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum.
There, that was pretty good.
Okay, hey, so tonight we actually have a guest in studio, and we'll talk more to our guest in a minute, but he may have bought us some beer to try out. So, hey, George.
Wait, did this just go like Schrodinger's cat? Is it?
Yeah,
You may have.
he may have.
For
We're
the
not-
moment.
I'm going to reserve judgment until I actually
Schrodinger's
open
beer.
I'm going to open the can. I don't
Beers
know
and beer.
if it's beer in the can or something like beer in the can. All
Grab
right,
it
hey,
off the leprechaun.
all right. So George, you get to do the read. What do we have tonight?
Yeah, so this is a brew. This is gonna be the first time trying it out, but it's from a brewery local to Chicago, Noon Whistle. They're known for making some really good stuff. I've had some of their other stuff in the past. So this is Gummylicious. It's 6%. It's a hazy IPA, and so it's the description here is brewed with Citra, Cryo, Mosaic, and Euconaut hops, giving it a deeply complex flavor profile that is bursting with juicy flavor, notes of tropical citrus.
That's a lot of hops in there, man. All
We
right.
have had some luck with hazies though. lately.
I know we have. Well, let's see if this one try
Yeah,
and see
the
what we got
last
here.
couple hazies I've
Smell
actually
test?
been okay with.
That's the smell test.
Yeah,
Rob.
yeah.
Pretty damn good, actually.
That is.
That's the smell test really well.
I got a hop up my nose. I'm hurting.
All right, here we go.
Okay, not exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah, kind of threw me there for a second.
Threw me a little bit. I see why they call it Gummylicious.
Mm-hmm. It hits in the middle. It's another one that hits in the middle.
It's really in the middle.
It hit me right in the sinuses.
You get a little bit of the like.
Dude,
kind
you
of
don't
pine
inhale
notes.
it.
Yeah, which
There's a little
No,
bit of
but
that.
as
Which I
I
don't
swallowed,
mind,
the
actually,
fumes
because
went
it's going
just
all
right up
citrusy.
and I was
Right.
like, oh.
put in the mosaic, which gives you that hoppiness.
That
That
was
bitter
not-
isn't bad either. It's like very mild.
It's a good
So-
finish. Not bad.
Like that bitter isn't like just lingering on your tongue,
no, but
overpowering
it's
anything
got a
else
little
you
bit
would
of
do.
bitterness
There
to
is.
it. Which
It's got
is
some
good.
coating.
Yeah.
It's got it's strong in the mid, which again, I don't know, for like 3 years straight we had nothing that was strong in the mids.
No.
Okay.
And they were
Yeah,
all
we hit
either
you on the
front
front
end-
and on the back.
Right. And this is like the third this year that's been heavy hit in the middle.
I like
That's,
it.
Which is actually, I think, a
Yeah.
better way to do it.
that's solid. I see why they call it gummylicious.
There is
So-
anybody else getting like a sour?
I have to ask, any adjuncts
Yeah,
in
there's a
this?
little bit.
Or is that all just from the hops? Because if it's all from the hops, color me fucking impressed.
Doesn't really.
Because
I know
there's
there's
a
some
really
more
that much.
description on the
No.
box. There.
there's a sour that I'm just
Let's
not
see.
appreciating.
See if it's got anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
where was
So there's some flavors in here I can't quite identify, but if that's all from the hops, holy mother of God, they did a great job.
Well, it says here this juicy hazy IPA is bursting with dynamic flavors of citrus, melon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
peach, and
citrus
pine.
that's probably hitting you.
I don't know
Yeah.
about the melon or the peach. Are you? Guys
I
getting
no,
any?
I actually get the melon.
Yeah.
I get the
I
melon.
might be getting the peach a little bit on
All
that.
right. All right.
I can
But
Towards the end.
so,
Towards the end.
I
Ingredients
can
list.
smell the peach, but yet that front is all just sour, and it's
How did
hitting
they
me.
get sour on
It's
the front?
hitting me
think I
the
get the
wrong
sour.
way. It's hitting me the wrong way.
Peach and pine.
I get the hops on the front. And
The
then
hops
in the
is there
middle,
for
you
sure.
got that flavor packet.
Yeah.
That flavor packet.
I'm calling it a flavor. That's a
Go with
it's a
flavor
noun.
packet, that's a
Good,
technical
that's
term.
That's a term we're using now. The flavor packet. And then on the end, it just kindly goes
Yeah.
off into the
Yeah.
night. You know, which is unusual for an IPA. They usually
Right.
what are they?
I'm thinking they're getting this flavor all from the hops. which
Yeah,
is
'cause
pretty fucking impressive.
Even their sell sheet changes the description just a little bit, where it just says it's
It's a
generously
6%
dry hopped
too,
with the Citra and Citra Cryo.
so you can drink it pretty much all day.
Yeah. Well,
It's Wisconsin
not
Day.
bad. What's Wisconsin Day?
Apparently,
it's got-
they have a gummy series. That's why there's a bunch of.
Interesting.
So there's a number of their other.
Happy
beers that-
Tuesday, Obsidian.
And it's
How's
one
it
of their,
going?
Hey, Obsidian.
one of their year-round beers too. So
This is solid.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Well, so again, I'm getting a lot of. They weren't kidding about the depth in the flavor profile. It's got a ton of depth.
Oh, they mentioned that in the description, huh?
That was on the website, not on the box.
Oh, okay.
The 4 hops, I was a little bit concerned when they put 4 hops on the list. You're getting up there, man. But wow, they work very well together.
What's
I
that?
mean,
I forgot the E one. Not Q and that. I don't know. EQUANOT house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm used to like the Citra, Cryo, Mosaic, but
Yeah.
What's
that
that?
one is.
I'm unfamiliar with that hop.
But that one also had is listed with similar flavor. Earlier.
I do like the fact, like you said, that they use the standard hop
Yeah.
in there, so you get that regular piney kind of in there too.
Characterized by fruity
That's
citrus
decent.
note like lime, apple, melon, berry, papaya. That's what could be in that hot.
Why, it gives you that peachy melon flavor.
Yeah.
It's got the creamy mouth. Oh, that's what's the tongue coating.
That's me.
Still?
Still. So, all right. Well, let's do the obvious. Then let's go around the room here. All right. Oh, I'm not so Jacob. All right, Jacob. Party cooler.
No, I don't know if I got something wrong with mine. I'm getting sour that's
Alright.
hitting me wrong, and then
You mind?
peach at the back.
You mind?
Go for
So this is always an issue with smaller breweries and canning. Sometimes quality control can be an issue. I want to see what was an issue for them.
I'm just getting sour and then peach at the back. And
Next
it's-
time, lick his tongue. See if his tongue's working okay.
No, that is, it is the way your taste buds are tasting it. Okay, just
Okay.
because it tastes like mine. So we have had literally where you got a 6-pack of beer and 2 cans. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are just
We're utterly hosed.
yeah, completely effing different. It's like, how do you do that? It had to at least be close before you changed it over. All right, so no one on the party
No.
cooler.
No.
All right.
This would be an easy one to grab and drink. I mean, especially it doesn't like last like strong and like flavor wise. So if you switch it up to something else, you're good.
Yeah, no, that's you're right. You can mix and match that evening.
I like it. It's hoppy, which I do enjoy, and then it's got a nice finish, but it's not like overpowering.
Right,
you
it's
know?
not punching you in
Yeah.
the face with hops.
Yeah, exactly.
And will be like he was just saying, be the last beer you drink for the evening because all you're gonna taste the rest of the night is that damn beer. So, and we've had beers like that.
Yeah.
Ryan, how about you? Party cooler?
Probably, yeah. This one Catches me with a little, hey, Gummylicious, come and get ya.
Yeah, yeah, just for the name alone, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I gotta say solid. 6%. You know, probably again not something I'll finish the evening with because I like to lighten it up as the evening goes on. But definitely a good starter beer
Like
for the
with a
evening.
shot.
Well, we've done that too. But solid beer. Everything about it seems really good. I'm again really impressed with the depth of flavors in this. Rob, how about you?
Yeah,
Particular?
that's an easy one. That only sits for scent. You can hit a few of these.
That's right
suckers.
up your alley too, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right up my alley.
All right.
But it doesn't go too far.
You may mistake it for a Mountain Dew there, too.
Yeah, really. Look at
It actually went great.
Holy shit! No, dude, it's the same color.
Wow.
I guess you are
So-
grabbing for the party cooler if you're looking for the caffeine or the beer.
So, and if you
50-50
see me
chance.
drinking a Mountain Dew,
Yeah, because you'll have the buttons. You'll have the. Yeah, right. Oh, dude, it actually would work perfect with the.
Yeah, right.
The koozie. It
I'm
looked like
having
a
a
Mountain
Mountain
Dew. All right, Jacob, you going out to the pub?
I'm not.
think?
I'm not getting this at
Nope.
the pub.
It's not. It's not.
It's
hitting you.
it's just hitting me so wrong. But yet the peach at the end is making me want to drink more of it. But yet that front sour is just,
Yeah. No,
it's weird because I get nothing but like a single hopper.
I got a
you
little
know?
bit. I got a little bit of sweetness on it.
On the front.
So the grains have been roasted to the point where they're sweet. All right. How about you?
Yeah, this is just a really solid beer. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, like straightforward in the fact that like it's all working, even though there are like 4 different types of hops or whatever. It like just works.
Yeah, I was a little concerned when you start listing off that many hops. It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not sure that's gonna work. Okay, George.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'd go for this again. I don't think it's a bad beer. I like it. Yeah.
All right, so you're ordering it at the pub.
Yeah, this is a pub one for me, too.
All right.
Tend to look for this style of beer, so when I see it, I like to try it, and since I have, I'm gonna grab it again.
Yeah, no, yeah, and again, same thing here. I again, pilsners and lagers, but I would order this at the pub. It's got a really light. Like we talked about earlier, it's not a flavor that's going to punch you in the
Right.
face, and that's the last thing you're going to drink for the evening.
It's one of the reasons why we've been having all success with hazy lately is because again, you have flavor, but it's not that lingering in your face, like you said.
Thank you. Which for me, when I'm especially at the pub, because I like to try different beers at the pub, you know, and same with the party cooler. I want something that's not going to kill me for the rest of the evening. This is really solid that way. Rob, how about you? Pub?
Yeah, it's great too because like you hold it like this and tell the wife.
And
Yeah,
nobody,
I'm a
and
Mountain
nobody.
Dew for
Yeah, I'm
us
just drinking my
tonight.
Mountain Dew, man. Wait a minute. So tell me. Wait. Really?
Wow.
Like that. You cannot tell the damn
you
difference.
cannot tell the difference.
I mean that is yeah.
You're gripping that Mountain Dew
Leave
really
us
tight.
Such weird timing, too. It's not like they're
Yeah, that was
I
random.
never.
How often do you have a
How often
Mountain
have you
Dew
seen
soda?
you with a Mountain Dew?
Right.
soda in the studio, unless
All
it
right.
was the Mountain Dew Hard series or whatever.
All right.
We did have that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a Mountain Dew?
Well, let's
Yeah,
see.
there's a Mountain Dew Hard. It's
It sucked.
yeah.
All right, let's see how we feel about this one, Rob.
Well,
Wait, Rob's working.
I'm
They did
gonna
finish it
no.
quick. They were gone quick. It was a morning brew.
There.
Yeah, this was
There
all right.
we go. All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Really? That much? Okay. Wow,
that
that's hitting you
sour is
completely wrong.
just hitting me so wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Because,
No.
But it's just hitting me so
Tyler,
wrong.
go
that-
lick his tongue and see if it's working.
All right.
I'm just gonna go around the room and try and get everybody to lick his tongue. I just want to see it.
Judge Rob. So we can get on to the real business of
shit.
tonight's show. Judge Rob.
All
Let's
right.
pass verdict on Noon Whistles, Gummylicious, Hazy IPA by Noon Whistle Brewery out of, where are they out of?
Chicago.
Are they out of Chicago proper?
I want to. That's
No, Lombard. They're out of
Yeah,
Lombard. They're
yeah,
out of Lombard.
yeah.
Out of Lombard, Illinois.
All right. On the charge of impersonating Mountain Dew, I find you guilty and sentence you to
Drinking!
Mine's almost done.
But now that we've actually got through Beer Court, which we weren't planning to do, but thank you for doing Beer Court with us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now that we got through Beer Court, why are we actually here, Rob?
Well, we are here with.
George.
Yeah!
Yay, George! So, guys, literally every time we're shouting out, the
Hey,
We
George,
didn't go through the pre-discussion either.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, we'll go through the pre-discussion.
No, I mean, we didn't go through the, hey, when we say this, you
Okay.
say that.
We didn't give him right. Yeah, so he did give it, we go. So every time we shout out Lionheart Racing, this is who we're actually shouting out.
That's correct.
George has been with us for years now.
Yeah.
So, so sorry about that. But, and when I say Lionheart Racing, see the big 7-7 right there, guys? Right there.
It's there.
You can click on it and go right to their site as well. But you've got something else coming up, and
Yeah.
that's why we have you on the show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is, it kind
Next
of ties
level.
in with that, but this is, oh my God, this is fucking next level.
Yeah.
Tell us what you got going
Yeah,
on.
so I'm producing the Sim Gaming Expo, and so what it is it's going to be an event that's taking place this September 5th through the 7th. And what it's doing is it's basically, when you think about it, anything that falls under the umbrella of immersive gaming is what this show aims to cover. So simulation, of course, is at its heart, virtual reality, and the other areas that I like to coin as gaming, lifestyle, and technology. So as you know, I've been involved with sim racing for a really long time. I joined the iRacing platform in 2013. In 2014, I started the Lionheart Racing series and ran that organization all the way through pretty much the beginning of 2024. But it was during that time that I just saw an opportunity and really a void, for that matter, where there was really nothing celebrating sim racing, of course, but then nothing that brought all the genres of simulation together under one roof. And so that's where it's like, you know what, this needs to happen now. So the plan kind of took shape over many years. Initially it kind of started off as an idea to take the league and do some type of live event, and then it was, well, let's bring the sponsors along, and then it was, well, wait a minute, why don't we do an expo? There's still something going on in Europe that's celebrating sim racing. They've had a lot of success, but again, nothing here.
Okay, I'm just going to bring a point. I have not seen anything like this here in the States.
Yeah.
Which surprises the bejeevers out of me.
Yeah. And honestly, that's the thing. That's the big question. Why? Why hasn't anyone done this? And now that I'm going through it, I understand why now, because there's obviously financial risks. It's really hard. There's a tremendous amount of work. There's no textbook that says, oh, you want to do an event? Here you go. This is chapter 1. There's nothing. You have to really do the work. And
which brings me to my next point. We literally do events like we do, as you guys know, we go out and do a whole bunch of events. We have our big one coming up in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, 2.5 roughly. But dude, I'm pulling my hair out now, and we've only got 6,500 square feet we've got to take care of.
Yeah.
And we're not hosting the event.
No, we're not hosting.
we
We
set
are
up the great
literally,
stuff.
we set up a big old ballroom, but oh my God, I can't tell you how crazy that drives us.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's been challenging, but I have a pretty good team behind me, a great team behind me actually. I've partnered up with the owner of Source One Events. What they are is they're a general service contractor for the trade show industry. They happen to be the in-house contractor for our venue, which is the Schaumburg
Which is a great venue. We go to VCF there every year.
Yeah. I've visited that place many times for Pinball Expo, which is just a phenomenal event. So yeah, again, I'm from Chicago, the Chicagoland area. We wanted to keep things close to home, and the venue was just perfect. You're right, though. It is a little bit of an ambitious overtaking. We decided to rent out 65,000 square feet of space and see what we can do with it. Right now, we've already started bringing on exhibitors. The hard work really took place during 2024. We were doing all the work on the back end, so the website, the social media channels, getting the merchant account set up, and then all of the attendee registration portals, and as well as the floor plan, the exhibitor portal, all of it. It was a tremendous amount of work, and it's I've never done this before, so it's all this research and doing it, from the ground floor, if you will. But we're at a point now that the word's getting out there. We're starting to bring on exhibitors, and those companies that have started to come in, they're generating buzz. Because
you've got some really big partners going in on this one now. So I was more than mildly impressed for a first-year show. Yeah. So again, their first year doing this. But before we get back down to that, let's go jump back just a little bit.
Sure.
So talk about the Schaumburg Convention Center, which is a beautiful venue.
My gosh.
absolutely amazing venue.
Yes.
First of all, it's got the hotel right there on site.
Yes.
The convention center itself is absolutely perfect. That was a nice get.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was the perfect place, really. I mean, we actually were trying to get it earlier this year, and it wound up at this point really being a blessing in disguise. It was like I asked him, like, what do you have in April? Nothing. How about May? How about June? How about July? How about August? And it was like, what do you have? And so we settled on these dates because that was the first available. I'm like, let's do it. But again, like, it allowed us to have that extra time to plan, because if not, I think it would have been a lot more difficult.
Which is great. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
you don't want to rush something like this. Again, that's a big get, though. I mean, that really is. Again, we're familiar with that because we've been to several events there.
And you're pulling 65,000 square feet on there.
Yeah, so it's about 2/3 of the convention show floor space. And then we have basically a small number of breakout rooms, if you will. Like we plan to use those, one for like a lounge for our media and content creators, one for exhibitors, and then like the remaining two we'll likely use for like workshops or maybe meet and greets and things of that nature.
Sweet.
So we do have a pretty large exhibit space, but we are filling it up also with some really cool activations. So the biggest one of which, again, like, you know, sim racing has kind of been my wheelhouse for a long time. So we have plans for, basically it's like a 6,400 square feet of that space would be a competition area for sim racing.
Really?
Yeah, so some of the brands that you've seen already on the website, they are actually supporting us by providing the equipment for that space.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be
That's good.
awesome. Yeah, so we'll have about 15 sim racing rigs for the competition area.
Damn.
And then like one of like just, they're amazing. These guys, they're based out of Cary, Illinois, Alexander PCs. They stepped up big. They're providing us with 38 gaming PCs to use throughout the entirety of the weekend. So not only will we have our sim racing competition area covered, we have some other really cool things. We'll have basically like a booth dedicated for podcasts, another one for streaming. For example, like we'll have another sim racing cockpit in there. Trying to get a flight sim cockpit in there as well.
Okay, so that brings us to the point.
Yeah.
So, again, like I said, your
Yes.
wheelhouse is the racing sims. You doing a lot of flight sims? Because, boy,
Yeah.
and we've got a lot of friends who are into that. And
Yeah.
you want to talk about dropping bucks?
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Oh, yeah.
mother of God!
Yeah, it's huge. So flight is definitely on our radar. We've been talking with Giant Software, so we're very close. We're hoping that they'll come. So we'll have farming
Ooh,
sim.
That would be nice.
I reached out to
That'd be cool to have.
SCS
actually.
Software. They do trucking sim. We've got in contact with Dovetail Games, who they do the train simulator.
Yep.
So we really are trying to mix it up. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna. I'm thinking back to when Larry was trying to do the. train
In
simulator.
Japan,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
crash it through the station.
I mean, that was just a video
That's
game,
awesome.
But I think
So-
that was somewhat of a closer of a simulation than like a real game.
Oh no, that's a really the control panels on the Japanese train sims are actually
One
very
of us
nice.
has a train sim,
Oh,
don't we?
It's
Yeah,
coming.
the
It's coming to MGC
controller.
this year.
Yeah.
It's coming to MGC. We
I-
bought one in Japan this year.
I've played some racing sims, and that is intricate enough for me that when I tried a flight sim, I went, "You have a cockpit here,
Yeah, no, with all the
and
with all the
this
instrumentation,
stuff," and I'm going,
and that's why I was wondering again.
How-
I'm seeing some of that. That would be
you,
great.
the people that do flight sims, I'm going, they actually have to be doing actual flying or whatnot, because why would you put all the time into having the flight sim stuff when you
It's the
don't
immersion.
fly?
It is the immersion. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
it's the
I've got a friend
immersion.
who's really into
Yeah.
it. He's built a full cockpit. I mean, all the
Yeah.
avionics. He's literally got all the real avionics in his
He's
cockpit.
been on the show.
Yeah, he's been on the show.
Yep.
It's again, he does not have his pilot's license, but if there was ever a case where the pilot and co-pilot ate bad fish, I would put Jim in the cockpit.
So would I, because I've
Thank
seen
you,
it.
thank you all for getting that reference.
He's,
Oh,
Yeah.
airplanes, don't call me Shirley.
Thank you all for getting that reference. I won't. Okay.
But yet, I would also be like,
Surely
first
not.
person I would go, Jim.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I've
Get the
seen
fucking
him.
cockpit.
I've seen him do it, and I'm just like, no, this dude has to have his pilot license. You're surprising me right now.
He does
by
not.
him.
No. He loves.
he goes
loves
very
his flight
extreme
sim.
with stuff. I'm
Yeah.
guessing I'm guessing that a lot of people that are into sim stuff, they're extremists. So
You know, in a lot of ways, yes. I mean, you know, it really hooks you. You know, I mean, there's really nothing like it. It's also not just about like the experience, but there's something about the hardware and tech. And there's really like when you have like all of that blending together with the game, and now say if you're even going into like VR, it's just an experience that until like you really get an opportunity to like sink your teeth into it, it's hard to grasp. But once, like I said, once you get in there and you really, again, like it just pulls you in. So we definitely, yeah, we're trying to diversify the various types of sims, and there's other things too, like military sims. I mean, it's kind of like when they say like, oh, there's an app for that. There's literally like a sim for that as well.
There is.
Yeah,
Hey,
Wait,
yeah,
there's a military sim?
yeah. I mean, think about Arma.
yeah,
Arma, yeah, that's kind of a huge,
Yeah, I know
a huge
people are
one.
like a
there's
big
a goat
community
simulator,
too.
okay?
Yeah, there is a goat simulator.
Oh, I've played that.
we should
Thank
say Goat
you.
Simulator.
So,
I love Goat Simulator.
so let's
Mech Warrior,
Yeah.
Mech Warrior.
so yeah,
Warrior
there
five.
might be something special
Yeah.
that we're talking about.
There's
We'll
a
get-
lawnmower simulator. I played it.
Yeah. So you can pretty much simulate anything.
Yeah.
All right, but getting back down to that. So again, it's gonna have a heavy focus on the racing sims.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely.
No.
yeah,
That's,
yeah,
we're good. We're good
yeah,
with that.
Yeah.
Look, like we've always told you guys, it's like watching a real race. There's real racers actually racing around a track. It's everything you've ever wanted to watch in a race and funner. But getting
That commentary is amazing.
is amazing. Thank you.
Sorry, that is the main reason I've watched
Yeah,
your
yeah.
shows is the commentary.
That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. It's trying to emulate the real world. I mean, any sim, when you get down to the granular level, it's trying to replicate the real world as closely as possible.
Yeah.
And so like whatever like pick your poison, like you can just dive in like head first and really just be a part of that world.
So for those of you, we do a lot of simulation games at G2 at Guys Games of Bear. Jacob, do you kind of get into character?
Yes, but I would say that that's more struck because I am a LARPer and cosplayer. So therefore, yes, when I do come and run the Steel Battalion rinks, I become not Penkos or Jacob, I become Sergeant Kilt,
Yes.
and you are all my recruits that I'm going to teach.
But that's what makes a simulation
Yeah,
a simulation.
yeah.
It's that immersion. It's like you said.
Absolutely.
It's not. The tech is cool, and I'm all about the tech. You know me.
I'm all
yeah.
about the immersion.
He's about the immersion. I'm about the tech end. Again, that's my thing, is to keep the tech part working. But it is about the immersion. So 6,500 square feet. I'm sorry, 6,500 square feet of convention.
65,000.
You've talked a little bit. So-
Not 6,005.
65,000.
That is, by the
Keep
way,
adding
for you
zeros
farmers out there, that's 1.5 acres of game.
Oh, thank you. 1.5.
It's a
acres
big
of gaming.
space.
It's a very
Yeah.
large space. Sounds like you've got it fairly well filled already.
We need some help. Yeah.
Well-
we've got we've got the ball rolling, but now we need more. We're gaining traction. We've got to push it over the finish line. Basically, we've had a lot of conversations ongoing, but that's the thing. You know, a lot of companies. The way I kind of describe it is, they're sitting on two fences and they're going, talking to one another. Hey, you go first. No, you go first. Which one of them is? They.
Yeah, that's
Well,
It's
you've got-
the nature of it.
Again, but
so.
you've got a fairly good lineup already, so that's
Yeah.
got to be pushing some
It's
people over the edge
helping.
now.
It's
So let's talk about how that space is going to be divided up.
Yeah.
So how much is a vendor area?
Yeah, so the vendor area would be, it'd probably be like 55,000
So
square
a
feet
lot
of
of it
space.
is basically vendor area.
Yeah, I mean, the premise of the show is that it is, it's a consumer event.
Right.
Try before you buy, like,
Nice.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
the show specials, like a lot of people love when they go to expos and conventions.
So especially with this kind of gear, which can be a
Oh, yeah.
little bit of an
Absolutely.
investment, it's nice to get that try before you buy. And,
For
and
sure.
again, because
Absolutely.
this is something that we don't have here in the States, this gives you a really good capability to get out there and actually.
Yeah. Very specialized equipment that you're not going to find at every store you walk down the, like.
Thank you. It's normally stuff you'd order online anyways
Yeah.
from very specific companies. So yeah, you're not going to get a chance to just, I'll sit here and try out blah 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 cockpit, or I'll try out blah 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 wheel.
Yeah, they don't
or
carry them
blah-
at Best Buy.
Thank
That's
you.
not something.
Thank
they
you.
carry.
Yeah.
So the chance to get out and actually try it.
Yeah. see the different vendors and like, you know, these 4 or 5 people
So-
did these different things, and
So I
you
can
get
see
to-
where this is a really good introduction for people who, oh man, I love watching these guys sim race. I really want to do it. You know, but I don't know what wheel I should get. I don't know what pedals I should get. I don't know what, you know, shift system I should get. Or if you're into avionics, what avionics I should have to buy.
That's perfect.
This is
Yeah.
really a
And you can get
good
hands-on,
thing.
which is the only way you can really
Yeah.
judge like controllers, keyboards, everything.
Especially with sim
Everybody has
stuff.
very different opinion on what makes the best. I mean, everybody agrees that, you know, decent build quality,
Yeah.
all that, but what that actually means to people, it's
Because a lot of
radically
this
different.
also boils down to tactical feel, even.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
There's a
This
reason
is
why.
very much a
yes.
feel.
Yes.
It's the feel. That's part of the immersion. It's key for tons of this. It's no different than like you're saying keyboards. The different types of switches and mechanical keyboards.
Right.
Absolutely.
People are crazy about that.
Oh,
I
Absolutely.
drove a manual transmission car, but some of the manual transmission, the clutch and the gear shifter in some of these sim cars are so different that I'm just like, I know how to drive a stick shift car. Why can I not drive this stick shift
sim
car?
Right. No, but that goes back down to this feel thing.
You can't feel it.
And
Yeah.
and you
it throws me off
giving
sometimes.
the
Some of the better ones, they
consideration.
actually give you a little rumble in there.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you can
Yeah.
feel it.
There's haptics. Haptics is a big part of a
Yeah.
lot of the simulation
Yeah.
titles out
So
there.
along that
Absolutely.
line, speaking of haptics and simulation, will you have any full motion systems set up?
Yes. There's
course you will.
a company
Of course you will.
called Simcraft. They have some of the best full motion systems. So they like when you think about motion, they call like degrees of freedom, and so like the highest end is, if I'm not mistaken, it's 6 degrees of freedom. So that, I mean, it's like yaw, pitch, roll. I mean, yeah. So that's one of the companies that'll be there with
That's pretty
full
awesome.
motion sim, and it looks like they're planning on doing, because they have 2 10x40 booths. So one half would be sim racing and the other half flight. So that's really cool. There's actually Alexander PCs. They're supposed to be bringing in through another partner. I believe they're Invictus and Alert 5 Designs. Basically like a full F-16 cockpit. Yeah.
Well, the good news
With
is
like augmented reality, it just the whole works.
that wipes out
yeah.
about what 10,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Because they're big.
Just the cockpit,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like going back to what you were saying, Tom, like definitely you're right. The equipment, some of it, a good chunk of it is very expensive, and a lot of times if you order and you're ordering online, you get your wheel, you get your equipment, and it's yours.
Yeah,
know,
thank
there's
you.
There's no
Right,
returning it.
right.
But we are also, and that is one of the things that I also should point out, that there is really a full ecosystem of products, something that is for everyone, from the beginning entry level. I guess you could go like from mild to wild. There really is just a really good stretch of products. So, for example, there are some brands that have high-end stuff, and then they also have stuff that's geared towards, I guess you'd say like the entry level,
Right.
Like Logitech, Thrustmaster.
Yeah.
So those brands as well, like we'd love to have them in because we want the whole gamut.
Do you
know?
hear that, guys?
Yeah.
He just said
Yeah,
he'd
yeah.
love to have you.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, so it's an opportunity. Like that's the thing. We're going to have the hardcore sim enthusiasts, but we feel that this is an opportunity to also bring in the general gaming public, who just they love games and they love tech. And so it's kind of a gathering, Like let's have a celebration. Let's enjoy the hardware, the tech, and what these sims have to offer.
All right.
So I'm excited.
You should be. So I'm going to delve a little deeper.
Yeah.
Who's doing your web work?
Yeah, so actually, it's a close friend of mine. He raced in the Lionheart Racing Series for a long time. Yeah, so I reached out to him because I know he's done some work in web design and advertising, and yeah, his name's Dustin. I'm like, Dustin, I need some help here. We got to get this website going. And
Dustin
yeah.
is rocking the
Yeah.
crap out of it. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
look like
for-
a first year website.
Thank you. No, so thank you for a first year count. It's like, ooh, damn,
Yeah.
wow, holy mother! No, it's really good.
Well, you've
It's
probably
really
looked into
appreciated.
other cons and what they have, and like usually
Oh,
the
of
first
course.
first
yeah.
3 years or so, the websites look like well, the early 2000s. Some animated jokes there.
Dude, some
Yeah.
concepts have been around for a long time. Still, look like
We're
it.
not going there.
We're not going there.
Oh, and just there's a side conversation going on in the Peanut Gallery about the Quake stuff and the and Steel Battalions. The Quake land, I'm correct. That was donated originally by Pack Rat, right?
That is correct. Pack Rat Games donated that,
Guys,
and
just throwing that
and
out
it
there.
proudly displays that Pack Rat Games on the banners to this day because Pack Rat Games was such a
they ran it for
was
years.
such a fixture.
Sorry about that. That was a
And,
side
and,
conversation.
and I understand, and I understand why you wanted to get up because, like, Jesus, man, it's a lot of work. But we are so proud to have the Quake land still.
That's cool.
And
It's a
keep it
piece of
going.
MGC
You know, like,
history.
Thank
You
you.
know, like each time we try, like, well, we could do.
Oh,
let's
and-
make it a little bit better.
And are we not making it a lot better this year?
And,
And
helps
just
draw
like
attention to it.
having intro stuff, you gotta,
Wow.
to keep
absolutely.
everyone wanting to go, you gotta get. You can't just be like, well, you need to get all this high end stuff. No, you gotta get.
Yeah, well,
People
There's
to be
something
like-
for every budget,
Yeah.
basically. And the one thing too that I should point out, like, you can have the best time with entry level stuff. Like, and I'll tell you, like, throughout my years on like iRacing and sim racing, there's guys who have, let's say, like a $300 set of wheel and pedals,
Yeah.
and they're blowing the doors off of guys with like much more expensive
So for
equipment.
those
So-
of you who don't know, $300 is like bargain basement when it
Yeah.
comes to sim racing.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
I mean we are talking like, oh my God, you are way down here, price wise, not necessarily skill wise.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. As you kind of, because I think as most sim enthusiasts do, we love to just continually like upgrade our rigs and our setups. And so as you get the nicer wheel or the better pedals, yeah, there's opportunities to go faster or be better. But also again, it just adds to the immersion. You just dive deeper into your love of it.
And I think that's more the case. So it really adds to the immersion.
Yes.
So like you said, you've seen people on $300
Yeah.
rigs doing just fine in the races.
Yeah.
Whereas it really isn't a matter of immersion. It's that tactile feel you were talking about earlier. It's the crap. That's a racing wheel. Holy mother of God! Those are that's a standard setup for a racing pedal. For those of you who have raced, or if you're doing flight sims, yeah, this is all what I would see in a normal cockpit. So it's that immersion that you're looking for. It's that really diving into it.
There was one time that I got to experience the most immersive shooter possible. It was like a virtual reality shooter, so I had the head on, but I had a haptic suit on that did like air pressure.
Right, for hits.
So therefore, when you fired, the thing actually kicked back into your shoulder. But when you got hit, you're wearing effectively like a haptic suit almost. And so therefore, I got hit in the leg, and I could feel like, I just got hit in the thigh, or he just hit me in the chest. Why did I just feel like I had someone just go?
But that's that immersion.
Yeah, and I was like, I asked him, how much did this cost to do? And he goes, are you asking about the whole rig, or are you asking about just the suit and what you're wearing? And I go, well, I know the whole rig because you got me on the thing so that way I can slide around. That's got to be thousands. How much is just the suit? And he goes, that suit costs more than that thing you're standing on. And I go,
that doesn't surprise me. All right, so along that line,
Yeah.
so that kind of immersion. So again, we've talked about the racing. We've talked a little bit about flight simulators.
Yeah.
What other kind of? Will
Yeah.
you be showing anything else?
Yeah, so we're hoping to have farming as well as like train sims. There's other driving
Wheeler?
sims.
Yeah,
Yeah, American Truck
I
Simulator.
love that damn
Yeah.
game.
Oh, say
It's like
that's awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
no, no.
Yeah, no, I know.
I do love the second one.
Yeah,
Yes, but the
American Truck Simulator is awesome, and they have
if
Euro
you've got a
Truck
full
Simulator.
set, man, it is so
Yeah,
crazy awesome. I've never had so much fun.
I've
crashing.
reached out to SES Software. We've kind of got a little bit of the conversation going. We're hoping that
That'd be awesome,
that they
yeah.
can come. Yeah, no, for sure.
So if you're listening,
Yeah, come on out.
Really?
We need you.
right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like again, there's streamers out there that they have. They've adapted like an actual like 18-wheeler steering wheel,
Yeah.
and it's just like, what? And they have the full shifter and the dashboard with actual like working gauges and like the seats. I love it. I don't know. I geek out over this stuff. I mean, these are the things that I've always, enjoyed. And yeah, I mean, yes, we're doing this for like the whole entire like gaming community, but also it's like I'm kind of building this because this is the stuff that I love. So it's like,
that's,
you know what I mean?
that's
I
the
want to
best
see
reason
this
to
stuff
do
there,
it.
Yeah.
But that also speaks to the appeal why, like, even just people that aren't into this should go. It's amazing. If someone's passionate about something, it doesn't matter what it is. I will listen to you talk about it, because if you're passionate about it, you're going to make me interested.
Yeah, and now I just spent $2,000.
I need a second and third job.
Uh-huh.
The other thing too, Tom, like you were mentioning about like people coming there to learn. So we will have like a main event stage,
Right.
And so we plan to use that for like keynote speakers from like various companies, and then also like let's do an intro to flight sim or an intro to sim racing. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Like we've been talking with Alexander PCs. Like maybe we'll do a live build of a gaming rig, like right there at the show, and just let people see how do you build a PC. Like, you know what I mean? There's so much again that we want to show people, and I think that's an opportunity for people to learn more about this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other part too, which I don't know if I covered, but we're going to have a LAN area for gaming, and that's where we can do some of the other sims that they're not peripheral heavy. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so like, that would be an opportunity for publishers to come in and showcase, their games for maybe like an hour or two and have people rotate in. Again, like I mentioned Mech Warrior, so like trying to get in touch with Piranha Games, like let's get Mech Warrior 5 clans, let's have a tournament, let's get the multiplayer thing going. I haven't seen that done before.
Well,
so
along
let's
that
do it.
line, there might be a certain podcast there
Yes.
who will be setting up an area. We will be bringing a so we have, as you guys know, we own the world's largest collection probably of Steel Battalion rigs. And on the original Xbox, and we set up a complete LAN system. And if you've never played Steel Battalion, it is truly the most realistic mech sim you're going to run into. Everything about that, the actual gameplay is beautiful. It's held up amazingly for over 20 years old.
So cool.
And the fact that the controllers were just perfect. They were literally it's one of the
Nothing
largest.
like it.
There is nothing like it. It's one of the largest controllers ever made for a mech simulator. In fact, it is the largest controller ever made for a mech simulator. Every button, everything has a function in the game. There is nothing on there that's just put there because it looked good. Everything actually does something in the game. And believe me, you will use all the buttons.
When teaching people how to do it, I've had people go, this button clearly doesn't do anything, and I go, that button does exactly this thing, and they're like, why would I use that button? Well, you're not in a mech that needs to use that button, so
Thank
therefore
you.
it doesn't have a use for you right
It has
now.
windshield wipers.
But yet,
It does.
this button does this, and they're like,
But you need
It
them.
does.
yeah,
You need
and I've
them.
had
You
people
need
be like, hey, my cockpit is very smoky. That's because you're on fire. Hit the extinguisher.
The extinguisher.
What? And I'm going,
It says extinguisher.
it says extinguisher. Remember rule 1.
All right,
If the
if you're
button is
watching,
flashing, push it.
if you're watching this, do not let it put you off. Buttons tend to flash if you need to use them. That's
Right.
the good news.
That
of that
is-
game.
that is the good
They
thing
do
about that
tend
game.
to flash
So,
if you need them.
But so we will be
Yeah.
at
Yes.
Sim Expo, and we will be besides Steel Battalion. We are going to set up. So I've been involved in VR forever. I mean, all the way back to the. For those of you who are really effing old, the oh god, what was it? What was the first company that made the goggles? Victor Max.
Oh yeah.
So we will be displaying some antique. And
That's awesome.
I will call it antique nowadays. VR goggles. We will also be showing a whole series of how VR has developed for simulation games in particular, but everything from the original early 80s VR through the current VR generations. We'll be displaying all of that as well. We've got quite the collection, including some very custom-made gear that we actually built for VR during the day, and we'll be displaying all that there as well. So that goes into my next thing. So now we've talked about cockpits and racing sims and flight sims and tractor sims. So how about the VR side?
Yeah, so VR, that's something that we want to see incorporated. So we are talking with a couple companies to try to get them on board. Right now, the conversation that we've gotten like the most far along with is IMAX. Yeah, so they make the Crystal Light and the Crystal Super, and they're very synonymous in the simulation market. So yeah, it seems like a lot of people who are into simulation games they're using IMAX's gear.
Right.
So we're trying to get them on board. We've actually also been talking with a company called Free Aim, and they make, it's amazing. It's like these motorized like VR shoes that have motorized treads on them, and you actually can walk, and you can even do like a light jog in game without, a lot
Without
of
the slider?
Correct. The sliders
Correct.
the sliders are cool, but they take up a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
They're terribly expensive.
Yeah.
How do the shoes compare price wise?
When I looked at the pricing, I can't remember the exact number, but it looked favorable for that type of tech.
All right.
It looked reasonable for that tech. So
And
it
again,
looked very
double
cool.
the
It's-
footprint.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
expensive area because I think at MGC was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago now.
2 years ago, they had one of the running ones, and it was
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I was like, I'd have to get space, and how much is it?
space,
Oh, shoot.
space. Price. To me, space is always the issue.
Space is currently the issue, the biggest issue for me, because I would love to get a rig for, playing Mech Warrior type stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen people have, like, for
Oh yeah,
computer,
full
of, like,
cockpit.
They've
full
made
cockpit
motion, too,
for...
It's wild.
Oh, I'm not even up for that, but yeah.
Good
Cockpit
for you.
for Mech Warrior, because I love playing Mech Warrior.
Great game.
But yet, I'm going, okay, I don't have the space, first of all, and then I would have to worry about the money.
Right.
But currently,
Space first.
space is first.
Amazing how that works. All right, so we haven't mentioned the web. We've talked about the website, but where can people find the website?
Yeah, so it's www.simgamingexpo.com, and
In the description.
there you go in the description. Yeah, so you can head on there. The tickets are on sale. Just click the registration tab, and you'll just take you right. Follow the process, and it'll take you through the steps. Also, we're looking for content creators who are, interested in being a part of helping to promote the event and just, again, like be a part of our schedule of events. So also on the special guest page, you'll see who's already signed up. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see, again, the registration tab for media and content creators. So we'd love to have you out. Yeah, and you can see our full lineup of exhibitors. You can check out our floor plan, which updates in real time. So as we continue to add companies on, you'll be able to see them and also look and see their information as well. So, yeah.
All right.
SimGamingExpo.com. Check it out.
All right. So much to see there. And again, the expo center they're setting up at is absolutely brilliant. Pretty much, again, you guys are firing on all cylinders right now, which is, for a first-year event, this is kind of impressive. As you know, we've been involved with a lot of events since the early days, or the beginning in some cases, and you guys are kind of knocking it out of the park.
I appreciate that, Tom. I mean, we still have a lot of work yet to do. We really want to get that space filled out. I think as we continue to bring on a few more exhibitors here over the next coming weeks, it'll kind of give that gentle nudge to those who've been sitting on the fence. And I think it's going to be something special. The other thing I thought I should mention, too, is that this isn't being designed as a one-off. Like, we want to do this year after year. We have dates secured for the next 2 years.
Nice.
At that same venue.
So you've already locked them in on a contract.
Yes.
Excellent. You're looking at the same time every year, right?
Yeah, so it looks like next year might be like a week up.
Right.
We were able to potentially get the full thing.
Right.
The 100,000
Oh,
square
you're
feet
gonna
of
go the full-
space. So
So you're expecting that kind of expansion?
I hope so.
All right.
I hope so.
All right.
Again, if not, there's some other cool things. Again, like, I think of like motorsports and I think of aviation. So like, what about the hobby world? What about RC cars and slot cars and let's have an awesome. What about a huge like slot car track or RC track?
So going with the RC
we have
cars,
the space. Yeah.
you've seen the new ones again that are POV.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean-
absolutely, and they're doing it with sim racing equipment.
Right, which
is
was
really
right.
cool.
You sit in a cockpit and
To
you've
run
got
a
your little
little
RC
tank.
car, and it's
Or whatever
fully
size they
fully
are.
fitted with cameras, and you race around a track in a real RC car
Yeah.
in a cockpit driving
It's
it.
so
it's
cool.
pretty
You were
awesome.
there when we were talking about this, wasn't it? Because Tom brought it up.
Remotus, I think, is the name
And,
of one
yeah,
of
and
them.
Tom brought it
Yes.
up a couple
Yes.
weeks ago. I'm like,
Yes.
get out of here.
It's
That's
pretty
genius.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's
that's
absolutely
pretty cool.
amazing what they're
Cool
doing with
stuff.
that stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
playing Ridge Racer right now.
Yeah, no,
See
it's
the car
it's
cruising.
amazing what they're doing with that stuff. So that would be a nice addition for next year. All right, one more time, website.
Yeah, simgamingexpo.com. Check it out.
So guys, we are excited about going. Guys, Games and Beer will be there.
Yes,
We
I
will
love
be
it.
setting up again, we're going to be running a full steel battalion setup there. We will have some history of VR gaming in general. We have some special things that we're working on for that particular show.
It's
So-
Goat Simulator. It's.
It might
We're gonna have a go.
it might be Goat Simulator. Just say it. But
I
we'll-
actually love
but you know we'll
that
take it.
that's included in the genre because it's epic. All right, anyway. There's a lot of epic. By the way, I mentioned 18-wheeler, which is not a conventional, it's not something you'd think of, and neither is the farming one, but they're hugely popular. Sorry,
absolutely.
18-wheeler.
I-
No, 18-wheeler is huge.
attention deficit again. Hits,
All right.
It hits the thing. But.
All right, Rob. Why don't we wrap this up and you take us out of here?
All right. Also, if you're watching and you are in this space, if you're in the sim space and you've never set up before, look, Guys, Games, and Beer does 10 to 15,000 square feet a year. If us idiots can do it, you guys can get it together. There's always a first time, so give it a try. Reach out, contact them. It's down below. It's down below. Anyway. I want to thank you very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. This is every week is brought to you by Lightheart Race. Just
It's brought to you by George.
it's brought to you by George this week. Anyway, all the joys of racing without the rubber hot dogs. You know the story behind it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, you can go to www.guysgamesandbeer.net. Click on that red, white, and blue 77, and you can watch some racing. It's a good time. You should do it.
Fantastic
Should.
commentary.
Better yet, you can come to the convention and see him live.
There you go.
And
Come
you
race
can
with
pop
us,
in a
dude.
cockpit and
Yeah.
race. How about that?
All right.
Anyway, also, if you want to see the dankest memes in Meme Town, I'm too old to say dank. I say it every time.
You
I'm
do.
way
Yeah, it
too
sounds
old
weird
to
every
say
time you say
dank.
it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
It's not quite right.
Yeah, it's not anymore.
You can witness the horror of the master of memedom, Dallas, at www.facebook.
Where is he?
Yeah, Dallas, where the hell are you?
He hasn't been here in a long time.
Invisible Dallas. We smell him every once in a while, though. I think he's up in the.
Smells like June. I'm sorry. Yeah, what
Fourth
is it?
subfloor?
Yeah, I think he's,
Well-
I think he's on the fifth.
Well, I
He
think
got lost trying to find his way
I
down
think
here.
he's been taking care of the gimp because I haven't had to take care of
Oh,
him
okay.
in a
Well,
long
that's
time.
it. That's what that is.
That's the fourth floor gimp, right? Not the fifth. Fifth one's got. Anyway, you can go to www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. Join up in the Guys, Games, and Beer support group and check that out. Do not do it at work, though.
No, don't do it at work. Hey, so for those of you again who really have not been watching the show, but you probably should. What do we got coming up in about 2.5 weeks now, Rob?
What kind of place? I can't.
Cypher-
something.
Maybe.
Something. There's a con.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah. There's a
it-
couple.
it's about
there's
security.
there's a couple, but the first one we're doing is
So there's this thing called CypherCon.
which is guys. I can't.
And it's both for hackers and it's for people who are in the security field. There's actually a very healthy amount of the security field that shows up to CypherCon as well. It's not just a bunch of sweaty kids, but if you want to be a sweaty kid and be there, it's okay.
We're good with
Nobody's
that.
gonna judge you. Nobody's gonna judge you, so we're gonna be there. And then, of course, right after that, like literally right after that, is the
We have a
Midwest
1 hour break
Gaming
between
Classic, where we have what is it, 1,500.
No,
45.
6,500 square feet. This
That's
year, gentlemen.
6,500 square feet of
6,500
retro,
square feet.
retro style gaming. It is. We're pretty themed. We got a little bit of everything.
Oh, this
Not
year.
that we're like our own museum.
We are taking it to the next level this year too, may I add. all sorts of new goodies this year. We have new systems to show, more Japanese imports to show. We are upping our game on Steel Battalion, on Quake, on Cursed Halo. Cannot tell you how much cool stuff there's going to be to see at CypherCon if you get there, and I cannot tell people.
And we do have different displays. I mean, it's mostly the same, but there are some.
Oh no,
displays
there's a
that
lot of
only
new
show
stuff
up for
this
Cypher.
year. There's a lot of new
The stuff
new
that only shows up for CypherCon that doesn't show up for MGC.
Heck yes.
Do you want to solve family and marital issues with high caliber ammunitions? Come to the Steel Battalion.
I think that's fair enough.
Person actually went, you won my wife over with that. And so therefore that is something I started using a
Perfect,
lot
perfect.
And she
last
left
year.
him, and now Jacob's married to her.
Yeah. All right. Wrap it up,
Anyway,
Tom.
thank you very much for watching. We will see you guys next week, same time, same channel.